Hello. Hello. Matthew Menace. Bunker Legacy. Extreme Jigs. What's everybody doing? I got questions. So I keep this container, and I used to go tune baits in it, and I would stick all my my baits I was tuning on the foam. Made it easier, but then it just became a hodgepodge of stuff. Hey, we have a guest. Team No Fish, Kyle, what's up, dude? But I was digging through it and thinking, what kind of stuff can I paint out of this? Oh, we have a guest, the Mousy. What is it? You want to play with something? How about this Rapala DT? But when I was digging through it, I found these old Finland fat wraps. And, that's got hooks on it. You don't want to play with that. And I don't know whether to just put them on eBay as they are or to paint them and put them on my website. I'm thinking about painting them because I don't think they're like crazy desirable. But I don't know. You're gonna play with that one? That's a Marty Burns. Don't eat that. Yeah. So, fat wraps. Worth painting? These are old. These are probably from like the 80s or something. Finland, whenever that was. I'm not a Rapala expert. They're in good shape. Like they're not, like the condition of them is great. But I don't think they're like collectible. I don't think they're like collectible baits. There's a perch one. JW Fishing, you still fish them? But I would think if a guy really liked a fat wrap, the one thing that's lacking on these is the lack of colors. They're pretty lame. I mean, I'm sure they'll catch them, but they're probably not the most desirable. If you had a choice, you would probably pick something maybe different than this lame blue color. This goldfish color is not terrible, but it's just boring. Josh Heron would probably throw that on the Coosa River when he was 9, but I think I'm gonna blast these things. Or this perch, pretty lame looking perch, and chartreuse and white, that'll still catch them, but like I said, they're just boring. David, I'm thinking I'm gonna paint them and sell them because I sure as hell don't need any more baits, any more to fish as much as I fish. If at the rate I'm going, I've got enough fishing lures to last me 10 lifetimes. JW, you fish that one? The Goldie?
So then how many lifetimes does Eric have?
Eric has enough lifetimes. He has infinite lifetimes. He has eternal life.
Through fishing?
Through fishing lures. Splatter some black on that gold. Yeah, this one definitely needs a little more dark contrast, and it would be pretty sweet. Which one's your favorite? What else do I have that you can play with?
She likes the rattly ones, like the big
ones. You like a rattly one? How about this one?
That's what it is.
Oh, you want them all? Knowing the goal, but I may be missing out. Uh-oh.
Do you want to hold them all?
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that one would probably do fine, but it would look a lot cooler with something else on it. So I think I'm inspired to paint these. I think I'm inspired to paint these and get rid of them. Something I haven't done. I typically don't do like I typically don't. I would typically keep this stuff for myself. What? She's telling y'all something. I don't know what it is, but she's telling you something. Uh-oh. Yeah, you want this one? Oh. How about a little man's how about a man's loudmouth 3? You like that one? I think the mouse is going to be a tackle junkie when she gets older. I hope so. I hope one of them is, because there's enough shit. There's a shit stuff for them to.
The two of them.
What? Yeah, between the two of them, that would be nice. You showing your teeth? Yeah, between the two of them, there's plenty to go around. What's
I'm
that?
sure they'll still fight over it.
Yeah, probably. Look at this. Nice move. She went straight with the mouth grab. But here, I'm gonna pass her off to mommy.
Yeah, she's a.
So, all right, help me talk through it. I'm about to pull the hooks off of these, and I don't want to. If there's anybody out there, what I was mainly looking for was if there was any like old Rapala fat wrap diehards. I didn't want to blast over some bait that you had like been looking for the last 5 years in some specific color that somebody would like just really like to fish as is or keep original. But if nobody has any love affairs with old boring Rapala colors, then I will blast them. Like I said, I don't know. I know there's a whole Rapala collector world out there, but I don't keep up with it. Can't keep up with it all. So if these aren't treasured gems to anyone, I'll blast their ass. Vince, what's up, dude? My youngest is the same way. If it touches his hands, it's going straight to his mouth. Old baits, dog toys, anything. Oh, yeah. The mouse has gotten better where she doesn't put everything in her mouth initially. Like she'd find trash on the floor and she'd like immediately eat it. Didn't matter what it was. But now she's kind of been able to differentiate what is edible and what is a chew toy. So we got that going. All right. So I hope anybody. Joey, just one. The bean is at school. I have to leave early. That's why I'm in my nice shirt today. My dress t-shirt. Because the bean has her program at school today where they sing Christmas songs. So that's at 11 or 11:30 or 11:45, 11:30. I don't know. Or it starts at 12, but we're going to leave early.
But she has told us that she's not singing songs today.
Yeah, we asked her what she was singing, and she was like, "I'm not singing songs." Okay. Just get up there and mom.
Talked about the program at all.
No, we asked her what song she was singing. She acts like she didn't even know that there's a program going on. So I'm sure some up north person would be interested in this. This was in all that. I really don't want to paint this jerkbait. I'll just leave this and sell this to somebody on eBay or something. But actually, that would be kind of cool. I could paint this in like the. Actually, I might paint this. I'll paint it in that Mega Bass matte finish color, the one that everybody loves. Matte shad. Juice Newton's daughter had her concert today. Did she sing?
What song?
How old is she, Juice? Maybe that's what I'll do those fat wraps in. I'll paint them in like a bone matte shad.
That'd be pretty.
That'd be sweet. Good idea.
Is that what you think, too?
Good idea. What else do I have I can paint in here? DB1, lead lip. Anybody fish those? Casey, what's up, dude? Anybody like to throw the DB1? Or anybody like baby bass DB1s?
I think we're very good.
All right. Bye.
See you at the house. Love you.
See you. Love you. Thanks.
Hi, guys. Bye-bye. You wave? Wave to 'em.
Is this collectible?
Wave. You clapping? Yeah, there you go. You waving. You wave to him?
You gonna say bye-bye?
Wave.
You say wave? You say bye-bye? Buh.
What's the cow say? Like, I don't know it anymore. He's like these fish.
Oh, you put yourself in that, huh? Monday night, she just turned 11. She's in chorus, so it's good. Oh, so she did like real singing. I think Bean's just gonna get up there and jump around and wave. South Jersey is the baby bass guy. All right. Oh.
Say bye-bye, everybody. You wave.
I think
Look, kiss. Oh, I'm still working on it.
mini classics and some sing-along for parents this time. I think this is too American for South Jersey. Not JDM enough for him. What is this? Oh, this was an interesting bait. This was a Bagley's Bangalore that had been chopped in half. I don't know what it's worth. Nothing. There's a lot of weird stuff in here. A lot of it's just junk. This little guy. Probably catch one on it. I know a lot of guys in Florida. Mega Bass Respect colors. South Jersey, where are you to defend yourself? This was a really, really pretty bait, and it's got a really interesting paint job on it. But this side's dicked up. So I don't know what to do with these things. Here's a Bangalore, but the finish is all dicked up. This is the old, like there was a little bit of a confusion that Bagley's were through wire baits. And some of them were, specifically the Bangalore was lined through in the first generation, and then they went to non-wire through. But the balsa bees are not. They're not like that one. Killer Bee 2 needs a little work. Got a big crack in it. Paint always flicks off the lid. Nate, what's up, dude? Put a JDM sticker on it. What are they? I mean, if I could, like, all you'd have to do is put like rather than say Tackle Craft custom painted Bagley, I would just change the verbiage to Tackle Craft tuned. Because what they do in Japan, they have like baits that are tuned by whatever the custom people is. So Marty, I've got the head here. You want to see a bloody head? It's pretty gross. But if you want to see the actual head, I might get banned for mature content. But probably won't blast this husky jerk. Pro tuned, yeah, by Tacklecraft, and it will. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna get rid of, because I've never liked custom painted from the beginning, because the term got thrown around so loosely that it kind of lost its luster, and pro tuned would be a better term that I would like to adopt. So maybe I'll change everything on my Instagram handle and everything to say pro tuned baits or custom tuned baits. But yeah, if y'all want to see Travis fat wraps, I had these laying around. Nate, sorry I put you to sleep with yesterday's live. Marty, yeah, I got a nice collection of skulls. I got those two, and then I got all those over there. So yeah, I got skulls. I'll go get the other one. Hold on. So it's a good one. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a damn good one. But got good mass over here. Deer was pretty old. Had some weird stuff going on over here. Broke this point off over here. But yeah, it was not. Had good bases. Had good brow tines for out there. We typically don't see the deer out there where we hunt don't typically have very big brow tines. So, but he had good width, pretty decent tine length, pretty good mass. Not a bad deer. Not a bad deer. So I'll he'll look nice on the wall over here. See how he compares to these others. He holds with them. He hangs with the other collection. So we'll see. That was the one. Exactly. Not bad for not having to get out of the truck. Exactly. Not bad for standing beside the road. So that's that. But I was cleaning up and I just found all this stuff. That's where I was trying to get um, Travis. Yeah, I've already. I think that's been boiled for about uh, 10 minutes, and then I had to leave. Um, so I'm I'm in between. We had boiled my dad's head and got it pretty clean and power washed it, and then we started mine, and it got late, so I had to. I basically just boiled it to get all the meat cooked, so it didn't stink. Um, so yeah, I'll do the. I'll get out there and do all the uh, whitening and all that kind of stuff to it once I get all the meat done. Uh, your haters are going to have fun with what makes TK a pro. I've got a. I would have plenty of rebuttals for those assholes. Uh, but the uh, the the euro amount's not bad. It's just the only part about it that's really a pain is after you boil them, when you power wash all the goobers off the head, that's a pretty messy job because you'll like power wash in like the eye socket and it'll shoot water like all back on you. It's probably the best. Like if you're planning on doing it and never done it, I would recommend wearing like chest waders or your rain suit because if you walk out there in jeans and a t-shirt and start spraying them down, you're gonna get hosed. Like you will be drenched from the waist down. Um, so that's what I would recommend. But after that, you can go to the what I get is the some people boil their horns in like uh, OxyClean. We always use Dawn to break down the grease and stuff and giblets in the head. Um, but after that, I always went and bought that hydrogen peroxide stuff from a beauty store. It's like a gel, um, and you just smear it on there. And some people boil. Some people put it in the boiling pot and then they boil it in the solution, and it's a lot quicker. But I've never been a fan of that. I just brush it on and let it sit out in the sun. But I might have to boil it this year because we haven't had sun in like a month. So we'll see. We'll see what technique I have to use. Burns, I certainly will. I don't know if I have a good picture or not. I think the pictures I have um, are terrible. Uh, but the I've never had good deer pictures. Uh, nobody I go with has ever understood uh, photography or how to make a deer look good or big or like you know. Tyler, the only thing I've seen on the weather is that I heard on the radio this morning that it's supposed to get cold after this storm, but this storm is supposed to be brutal and have like tornadoes and stuff. Um, so we'll see. Burns, are y'all getting twisters too? Uh, but all right, what else am I? Where else am I at? Oh, so I also have these. Um, calling for snow. Wow, that is cold on Christmas. Wow, I don't know that I've ever seen a white Christmas in Alabama, like South Alabama, in my lifetime. Like I said, I've only seen snow a couple times here. But if you like swimming a jig and you like throwing um, uh, like a bigger swim bait as a trailer, if you like a big profile, um, you probably need, like me, I'll swim these when I use a this grub here. It's a DW3 culprit. If anybody knows where I can find any more, let me know. Or if you have some, reach out to me. I would like to have some more. Um, but the culprit DW3 is like a big, oversized twin tail. And if you put it on a 3/8 ounce jig, the jig acts more like a 1/4 ounce. And if you have a 1/2 ounce jig, and you put a big trailer on it, you'll get the sink rate of more of a 3/8 ounce jig. But when I had these manufactured, my swim jigs, I had the mold made for a 1/2 ounce, but I didn't want to order the 1/2 ounce initially because I didn't need that many of them. And like I said, this was more of a selfish thing than anything. Like I had this made personally, but because I am also tackle craft, I could sell a few under that. But I had these made for myself, and I wanted 3/8 at first to make sure everything was like right. And when I put the order in to have these manufactured, the manufacturer just decided that they were going to pour all 1/2 ounces. So I got an email that my first order, this was years ago, but I got my first order was coming in of my swim jig head, and I was really excited about it. And I opened up the box, and there lays 1,000 jig heads. They're all a 1/2 ounce. And I looked at them and I was like, that looks big. Real big. So I put them on the scale, or I got my 1/2 ounce prototype and put it next to it. And I was like, yes, 1/2 ounce. So I called the dickheads and I said, you sent me the wrong size. And they said, what? I said, you sent me the wrong size jigs. Sent me a 1/2 ounce. I wanted 3/8. They said, oh, we're sorry. We'll offer you, I think it was, I don't even think, I thought it was 10%, but I don't even think they offered me a 10% discount. It was between 5 and 10% discount for dicking up my order. Which I would have paid for the hooks. I would have been fine with that. But the other part, no. Like I didn't order them. You know what I mean? Like they dicked up. So I bit the bullet and paid my bill. But now, like I said, now I have an overabundance of 1/2 ounce swim jig heads. So I think I'm gonna put these in like I'm gonna sell these by the dozen, maybe by the dozen, and do a black, white, and the green pumpkin blue 1/2 ounce heads, and I'm gonna sell them at cost. But like I said, you can do a lot with these things. You can put it. I mean, it's got a 5-volt Gamakatsu Siwash hook in it, so the hook is $1, and I think I've got I think I've got like $1.60 something in them, maybe. So I might. I mean, I was thinking selling like a 12 pack for like $24, $2 a head. Which by the time I paid shipping and all that, it was about $2 a head. So for the half ouncers, that is some shit customer service. So they're like I said, there's plenty you can do with them. If you don't like swimming a jig, if you like just like throwing if you like to just throw a regular paddle tail swim bait on a jig head, that'll do it, and it's got the damn hook to do it. Um, so I mean, if you want the weed guard in it, if you don't, just pull the damn weed guard out. But it's a really good jig head, really good hook. It's got a wire keeper on it. That cost me extra right here. So I will be putting these on the website shortly because I know people like doing their own skirts and shit, and I was kind of hesitant to put out just jig heads with no skirts, but I got enough of them; it doesn't matter. So be looking for those. Be looking for those, and they're like I said, it's not. I don't have like that many left, so uh, I've probably got. I'll be able to sell like 10 dozen, maybe. Um, Add an underspin, you certainly could. You certainly could. Um, but I don't know why you don't see more guys like worm a swim bait on a weedless jig head through brush piles. Answer me that. Any brush pile guys out here? I know you typically fish over the top of them, but um, I'll put out a little posty when those go up on the website. I'll have to see if I can cram one more in it, and that makes 40, 12. Yeah, 4. Oh, juice. I didn't know that was a thing. Schoolmaster has never caught a bass on a swim jig. Does that make you a bad person? No, it doesn't make you a bad person. But you are certainly missing out on probably one of the most fun bites there is on the planet. Uh, Marty, probably. I'm just thinking out loud about how I would approach things. Travis, I never have called culprit. Um, I was talking to somebody yesterday about that jig and who poured it, and I was wondering if that company still had that mold. Um, Situational, but forward facing has opened up the perimeter of a pile. Interesting. Corey, what's up, dude? All right, let's see here. I'm kind of excited about fishing these or painting these fat wraps now. Sorry if you're a fat wrap enthusiast. They're about to get Mega Bass matte shaded. Where's the end of this thing? Man, this thing is the split ring is like fused together, and it's in its old age. It won't separate. It's weird. There we go. It's like I don't know what happens to these old baits, but they get the strangest materials stuck to them. Back in the old days, man, that shit they used, adhesives, paint, all that kind of stuff. You couldn't knock that shit off with a damn hammer. Stuff we got now sucks. Going to have to get you and AJ to make me some skirted up pro-tuned jigs. There you go. Juice Newton, it's always Sally time, bro. It's probably not not ideal. It's more cranking time, but you could probably I mean you could certainly catch them on a Sally still if that's what you so chose to do. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, and you know how I've talked about not making spinner baits anymore and not making jigs and stuff anymore because they're such a time suck. I think I've convinced myself to make an 1/8 ounce spinnerbait with a big hook in it. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I want it. I need it. So I'm gonna have to make it. But I'll be able to pour it myself, so it won't be like a ordering thousands of jig heads at a time and getting the wrong size. But I need to make juice. I need to make the perfect Sally, which the perfect Sally is pretty much a Hildebrandt, except their hooks suck. And you can take their hooks off and put a new hook on because I did make the mold for the Sally hook. But besides that, you can't beat a Hildebrandt blade. I can't out Hildebrandt, so I'll just stick to their blades. I'd like to know who makes those though. Zaldane had a Texas biologist on his podcast. It was pretty interesting. Glad you're back and congrats. Thanks, Hayden. I haven't watched any of Zaldane's podcast. I watched Rick Klein. That one was kind of awkward to watch, and that was the last one. But if the biologist might be worth taking a look at. I'll see what Zaldane's got going on. I guess the tech. Well, hello, what's up, dude? Nate, it's hard to watch. Oh, I didn't want to say it again, but I guess I don't have to now. They're all hard to watch, but sure, I'm hard to watch. But I don't have a full damn production studio going on. We're just talking amongst friends here. It's crankbait time in Arkansas for Burns. You have to find time to fish. Don't we all, Burnsy? Don't we all? You need to get out there and make time, bro. Make time. Nate, you're right. It ain't you ain't lying. if it's true. So, sorry. What's the name of that thing? What's the name of his podcast? The Bilge. That's what it is. The Bilge. I wasn't in love with that name, but I guess it's cool. It's clever enough. What else did I have on my mind? Besides a lure purge. Bernsey, now that I have you, Dickie D, what's your favorite crankbait all time? If you could only have one crankbait to fish in Florida for the rest of your life, what would it be? Florida cranking. This should be an interesting answer. And please don't say 5XD because it's going to make me want to puke. And please don't say DT10 or DT6. DT10. Oh no. Oh no, that's so bad. Those two go together like chili and cinnamon rolls. Like sharp cheddar cheese and bananas. Oh man. You're really breaking my heart, Dickie D. You're really breaking my heart. Hey, Dickie D, you know this guy. What's his name? It's not Homer Humphreys, but it sounds like that, I feel like. He fished the opens, Dickie D, and he's from South Florida somewhere, not South Florida, but like mid-central South Florida. And I think he's real good on like the like Kissimmee chain maybe, but he cranks a lot. And I painted a bunch of baits for him. What's that dude's name? Oh, you sent me some baits to paint for you. One is the little top water, and you wanted that pink. And then I have like a medium diving bait that you wanted personally, and then a little square bill personally. What um, what color would you want those diving plugs? Oh, Dickie D, there's a guy that fishes the opens, and he's like a pretty good tournament dude down in Florida, and he's always been a cranker. And I think he did real well in an open like years back, and he lives in Florida, but he was always like against the grain, and he was like cranking when nobody was cranking. But I painted baits for him like 7-8 years ago, and he wanted all these like wild crankbaits painted, and I was like, "Where are you throwing these?" He's like, "I'm in Florida." Like, really? And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Don't say anything." He's like, "I'm like the only person that cranks down here." And it was like 10 years ago. But I think he did. I think in one of the opens down there on like the Kissimmee chain, he got it like it. It kind of got on the radar. They're like, "Wait a minute, everybody's flipping grass and like throwing chatterbaits. This dude's throwing like a deep diving crankbait. What's going on?" But Epic Eric, how goes it? Um, Hella, you like the DT6 in the grass? I've never cranked grass with a DT6. We don't have 6 foot of water with grass on it around here. plastic RC square bill wood going with WC E1 or IRC's little I. I haven't tried the little I. E1's hard to beat. RC's hard to beat. Kyle, you're making a tragic mistake though by not choosing a Burns, because the Burns will outlast those two. So if you had one for the rest of your life, your WEC and your IRA would only last a small fraction of your life. Or if you didn't lose your Burns, it could potentially last your entire life. What's Ira been up to? I haven't heard much from him. I haven't heard much out of old Ira. Now, Kyle, are you of the opinion that the original Lucky Craft RC 1.5 or whatever size you prefer is far superior in fish catching ability than the newer versions? Kyle Burns says this shit swims better anyway. The I don't know. The funny thing about the RCs, as far as like the originals go, fish catching wise, um, when I moved to Texas, I left all my valuable tackle here because um, I didn't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing or who I'd be around, so I didn't want anybody to like steal my tackle. So, because that's probably my most like prized possessions besides my Bassmaster DVDs and FLW DVDs. But so I left all that here, and I told myself I'm just going to fish with the stuff that I paint. So I painted myself a bunch of like 1.5 blanks, and I really don't feel like by fishing those and not fishing like an old RC 1.5, I wasn't fishing that bait thinking that I'm missing bites because it's not old. It's not the original one. Like it never was like a thought in my mind that I'm throwing an inferior bait that will catch less fish than, like, it might have a personal preference or it might feel a little different or something, but that bait never that bait never struck me as like uh, one superior to the other. Or like obviously there's one there, the original one is better, but I don't feel like I was like not catching them good because my bait didn't have a tungsten ball in it. But that's just me. That's just me. And the ones I've always painted run awesome. I don't know what I need to A and B an original versus a blank. They say the originals thump a little harder. Like you can feel them kick a little more. But I haven't I haven't taken one out in years. Honestly, I haven't thrown an original like first run Lucky Craft 1.5 in probably 7 8 years. Uh, um, I don't understand how you guys don't either lose these baits throwing them where they don't belong or breaking them on a cast trying to get them where they don't belong. Oh. Like that. That was an unfortunate event. I really wanted to have this bait back, but I dicked it up real good. It was such a beautiful paint job. I wrecked it. I even cracked the side. That was a sad day. That was a sad day. But I have a Burns's baits. Honestly, this is not like a plug. Burns's baits, they're hard to destroy. Um, Burns, you think you can fix this thing? It's dicked up, dude. The whole side's cracked. It's got a crack down the side right here. And then this lip is not even a slot anymore. It's just like the whole head's gone. Here's what it used to look like. But I don't think the old RC Bombers Excaliburs are much better than the new ones, but I have much confidence in the older ones. I'll send it to you. You may send you the bill. It's got all the parts on it. I have a DT6 I've been testing to see how many you can catch on one. The bill broke in half at the line tie at about 200. I replaced the bill, and now we have around 300 and still whacking them. It's pretty good. Does it sink? Is my next question. Is it a sinker? Kyle, I don't get much into. I try not to get much into the big hoopla about this and that. I understand when baits get changed, like the wiggle wart. It's a sinker, yeah. I didn't realize that one of my favorite baits was a sinker. And I was throwing it. I threw it typically in the fall and the winter, and it did in fact sink because I was like after catching fish on it for years, I was like trolling up to a spot and I was like pulling it beside the boat like everybody does, like watching your crankbait swim. And then I like let slack in the line and that sucker went. I said, "Damn, my favorite bait's a sinker." And I was throwing it through trees and stuff, like thinking it would float out of it. I guess if I would have known it sank, I probably wouldn't have fished it the same way. But I don't know how many bills I have broken off the double stamped man's baby 1-. I've never thrown one enough to break one because they suck. Yes, I said it. Unpopular opinion. Um, but the one I can't explain that I'm a believer in. Um, and it's weird, is when the Excalibur, disregard this feather on the hook. This is not supposed to be here. This is worthless. So before anybody gets an idea that a feathered treble is a good idea on a spitting image, I'm just going to go ahead and chop this off because it is in fact a terrible idea, and they run like shit. So let me go ahead and remove this. All right. So what your spitting image should look like. So this bait first released by Excalibur, and then re-released with Excalibur not on the side, with Hidden on the side. And I feel like that there is a difference in the plastic from the Excalibur to the Hidden. And I don't think the only thing that feels different to me, and I can't explain it because they weigh the same. So if you take this spitting image and you put it on a scale, I think it weighs pretty close to not identical to the Hidden version. But if you cast this bait, it feels heavier. And when you walk it, it feels heavier. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't know if it's like placebo or what, but like I can cast this bait better than a Hidden one. They just feel like this feels strong. The Hidden feels weak. This is a man. The Hidden is a mouse. This is a shark. The Hidden is a spineless jellyfish. I don't know what it is, but like I said, you put these things on a scale, same weight, same everything, but they feel different. What year was this? This was my first spitting image, so I probably got this when I was in middle school, so it would have been like mid '90s, yeah, '95 to '98. But that was my first spitting image. Never cared for the little one as much. I always liked the big boy. Um, Travis, I've swam many times. Travis, I really wouldn't have expected the lips to break off the baby one minuses. That little bitty lip, I would have figured would be pretty damn rigid and take a pretty good lick. Um, Marty, don't know. It was a Frankenstein paint job off of Carolina crankbait site. What am I missing? I have two custom warts that will not die of any reason. Yeah, probably what they clear coated them with. Um, Eric has never seen that happen on a 1 minus. The spirit of Bill Dance is in the Excalibur. I think the spirit of Bill Dance is on the Hidden. Isn't it still autographed by Bill Dance? It just says Hidden on the side. Yeah. Wonder how much Bill Dance's royalty check from Spitting Images are a month, or a quarter, or a year. Hayden, you're probably right. So Travis, yours is from banging off rocks on the bank, not from like digging into hidden trees and stuff. You think Excalibur would have done just as good without Bill's name printed on the side? No. Bill Dance sells, dude. Nobody can touch him. Nobody. ever. I don't know if anybody will ever be able to touch what Bill Dance can sell or has sold. I think if you really looked at it, I don't even think KVD would touch Bill Dance's sales. Bill is the GOAT, the real GOAT. That bait needs Bill Dance's name on the side, just like the Super Spook needs Jimmy's. Correct. Correct. It wouldn't be the same bait. They would be cool, but they wouldn't be the same. Because you don't see that anymore. Like that was pretty that was pretty cool feature to Schoolmaster nailed it. Bill Dance sold a 2.5-foot buzzbait. He is indeed the GOAT. The man could sell sand at the beach. Didn't matter. Like I think the 2.5-foot buzzbait was just like a gag on somebody at Pradco to say, dude, let's just think of the dumbest shit we can possibly think of and see if Bill can sell it. And they were like, nah, you like what? Like, dude, let's make a buzzbait that's like 2 feet long. You think Bill can sell it? I'm like, yeah, he can sell it. And this man's like, nah, people won't buy that shit. And I'm like, dude, Bill can do it. And they give Bill, say, Bill, we're gonna give you $10,000 up front, and then we're gonna give you a little royalty on every one of these buzzbaits you sell. Here's the bait. And Bill's like, give me that damn thing. Hooked the boat up, went over to his little prick pond and launched the Procraft and started watching the damn money roll in. Sent him the footage and said, put my check in the damn mail. Saltwater ones definitely need Mark Sosens. Mark Sosen was the shit. But that was one thing I don't know if I just had blinders on and I didn't want to believe. It's kind of like Santa, you know what I mean? Like once you get a little older and you start realizing something might be off, but you don't really. I mean, what do you really benefit by not, by denying Santa? You gain nothing. You actually would probably lose more. So it's the same with Bill Dance. Like as a kid, I grew up and I watched him fish in these lakes, and I guess I had such. I was wearing. I guess I had the Strike King Bill Dance rose-colored glasses on, and it was so much that I was blinded by the fact that he was fishing in like this incredibly managed lake that was private to him for the most part. But I would watch these videos, or I would watch his TV show on TNN, and of course, when you're watching him do this stuff, you're thinking, well, I'm going to take what he's got, and I'm going to use it where I fish, and I'm going to have the results that he's having. And it never dawned on me that he was like fishing the damn juice, and I was going out to some like crummy ass farm pond that had like 6 fish in it and like full of cow shit, and it wasn't the same. But the imagery of like what would happen if I fished Bill Dance's ponds, but it wasn't to I don't know, man. I couldn't. It took me years to finally realize that it didn't matter what Bill threw. You know what I mean? Like the spitting image was a great bait, awesome bait. It'll catch fish in the hands of somebody other than Bill Dance. But Bill Dance could have made the exact same show with the super spook, with the regular Zara spook, with a Sammy, with whatever. It didn't matter. That was the difference. I bought the damn shitty ass Spent Scout too, bro. I think it's hanging up here. Bill Dance sold me that stupid ass Spent Scout. Where is it? I had it out not too long ago. I don't know, it's somewhere around there. But did Bill sue Pradco? Travis? I never heard that. Does KVD have signature lakes? I don't think so. Oh, Mark Sosin did? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know that. What was that over? Was he not getting paid? But I don't know. Pursuing after his name after they dropped him. Ah, they left Mark on the side of the bait and they didn't take it off. Oh, good for him. I'm assuming he won that. But the dancing eel, that was pretty absurd. I couldn't buy the dancing eel though. It was too stupid. Bill got me good with the button eye minnow. Was that a yum bait? Bill, you asshole. I wonder if he feels bad. I'm sure he doesn't. He's laughing all the way to the damn bank. But Riverside, yeah, that's who it was. Pre-Yum. Yum basically is Riverside morphed. But I wonder if he sits back in his recliner in his old age and thinks, damn, I sold a lot of people some dumb shit. But stuff was not bass repellent. Like you could still catch a fish on it, but some of it was pretty bad. The 2.5 foot buzz bait was terrible. I know people caught them on the dancing eel. I'll tell you something that worked. That would probably still work really good. I don't know why it wouldn't. But the product, not having the product would be the only reason you couldn't catch a fish on it. But he did a show where he took the bow hog eel from Strike King, and it was basically the same thing as a Uncle Josh bass strip, just a long piece of I think it was called the bow hog eel or porco, yeah, something like that. And he had an eagle claw weedless hook. It was like a bronze eagle claw, and it had a wire weed guard on it. And he would take that porco or whatever it was called, and he would put that on this weedless hook and just throw it weightless. And that was the best looking damn thing you have ever seen in your life. I did it with the Uncle Josh bass strip, which was like, I don't know, it was like a 6-7 inch piece of pork. And but I went out there and tried that shit, dude. It was it worked. Like I caught a pretty, like you said, Travis. I hooked. I had lots of bites on that. Um, I remember it like it was yesterday. My grandfather took me to this pond that his buddy had, and it was behind his house. And there was this little pocket out over by the guy's house that had a flagpole by this little corner of this pond, and it was right by his house, and there was a flagpole. And I remember walking over there, and I tied on that stupid Porco and threw it over there in that shallow water, and one came up and like smashed it. I was like, oh, Bill was right. Oh, um, you're right, Kyle. For every loser he put out there, he did give you the he did give you some good stuff. So that Bill got me on the. I'm trying to think what else he got me on. I guess he got me fishing the Bitsy Bug back when he was doing Bitsy Bug shows. But he threw his on a spinning rod. he also he was damn near close to selling me one of them Quantum Energies, the white ones. I wanted one of them things so bad. Whew. Um, Funny story. My dad done that with the Porco. He said it got bit, but he couldn't keep them hooked. He was locking the weed guard behind the barb, and it wouldn't hook him. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Travis, you had one. I'm trying to think all the different brands that Bill was with over the years. He did Terminator for a while. He caught that like 13 pounder on that Terminator spinnerbait slow rolling it. Um, I think that's still in his TV show intro where it was like January and he was fishing that pond with timber in it and he was throwing that spinnerbait out in the middle and he caught like a 13. I think that was his PB at that point. It's 12 or 13. It was big. Um, the dancing eel, the stupid buzz bait, the spent scout. That thing was terrible looking. Um, I bet the old time bass guys I was fishing against was laughing their asses off at that little wannabe Bill dance. Oh no shit, we all were, dude. That was that's that's how we were. Well, that I also attribute Jimmy Houston for being why I sucked for the first like 20 years of my hold on, I gotta go Instagram. Well maybe Amy's calling me. I wonder if I can take a call. Yo, I'm live and what's up?
Are you set this up?
Yeah, what do you need?
Will you get me a 2-peak Christmas tree? I forgot to get it while I was there.
Okay.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. All right, sorry. But oh no, Instagram's all dicked up now. Uh Come on. Oh, why? All right. This really infuriates me. The microphone's still trying to pick up. It won't work. Sorry, Insta. Fucking call. Really pisses me off. Oh, but the kid hold my Shimano. Pretty much. Um, I used to dump 3/4 of the brine off my pork frogs and pour in Riverside Real Craw. I'm pretty sure I got that from Bill. That's a pretty good tip. I would like to have. I'm sure you'd like to have all that brine back. Um, uh, what was I saying about old Bill? Oh, Jimmy Houston being the reason that I sucked as a spinnerbait fisherman for years. I was never. I think that's why I like cranking because I couldn't catch them on a spinnerbait. Uh, my phone is still blinking like the microphone's on. Um, but I used to watch Jimmy Houston, and he was supposedly the spinnerbait expert, right? Like that was all Jimmy was pretty much known for was throwing a spinnerbait. So I'd watch Jimmy, and he always had the damn double willow. You occasionally see him with that turtleback blade, um, and but he would always be like burning his spinnerbait. You'd see it like this far under the water, and fish would come up there and blast it. And then you'd watch Van Dam, and Van Dam would always be like reeling a spinnerbait really fast. And and I never got bit like that. I don't know if it was like a water clarity thing or like just like where I fished, like burning a spinnerbait that fast didn't wasn't the deal. Um, so it wasn't until like much later, like into my 20s, where my neighbor, Mean Gene, up at Miller's Ferry, I went fishing with him, and he was always like I never fished with him. Like I'd known him for years and lived next to him for years, but we never fished that much together. Like I would always go fish by myself, and he would go fish by himself. And he would, tell me, "Oh, I caught him on a spinnerbait," because that's all he threw. He loved throwing a spinnerbait. And finally, I was like, "I want to go with you. Like, take me. Um, I want to, see you fish a spinnerbait. How you fish a spinnerbait." And we went out there and fished in probably a foot and a half of water, maybe. And he was throwing a 3/8 chartreuse and white double willow, uh, double nickel, number fours with a white twin tail on the back. And this joker would fish this thing like crawling it in a foot and a half of water, like really slow. And I was watching him and I was like, how's that thing not bogging down? And it didn't. But he really fished his bait slow. But it wasn't so slow where it was like boring slow. He was just, not Jimmy Houston-ish. And he started whacking it, dude. And I started asking questions. I was like, "You ever catch them when you can see your bait?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You catch way more when you can't see it." He's like, "No shit." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "If you can see your bait, you're reeling it too fast." So I actually started slowing down and fishing my bait where I couldn't see it like I saw when I was a kid, like I was damn Jimmy Houston fishing in my private lake. And my spinnerbait fish went through the roof. So that was pretty exciting. That changed the game. Um, but I can equate my early failures in spinnerbait fishing to Jimmy Houston. I should have listened to Bill and slow rolled it, but that's not cool. You know what I mean? That's like you want to go out there and you want to do what you saw Jimmy do, and you want to see those fish come up and blast it. And they didn't like that here, so I learned the hard way. Um, Rich, I don't know if I'd call it a booner. I'll show it to you again. Pretty nice buck. Pretty good mass. Had that tine broke off, but mainframe 8 had some weirdness going on here. Good brows, heavy horns, quality buck. No Sequon deer, but it's a nice one. All right. I still haven't found the time of year to burn a spinnerbait yet. Not down here. I've never. I don't know that I've ever experienced locally a burning spinnerbait bite. I've experienced it with other things, buzz baits. I got on a bite swimming a jig where you couldn't reel it fast enough. Like I didn't have a reel that would reel it fast enough. Slow roll them on cypress knees and bang against the cypress tree. That is correct, but that is where the Hank Parker came into play, and later my spinnerbait to replace that. That is the juice. That's the old dropping pump. It's more of a feather than a pump. You just let it sink, and then you just kind of feel those blades kick. So it's an art to working a spinnerbait through a cypress tree. Kyle, your dad knew the deal. Yeah, but that's the difference. As a kid, I would have rolled up to that same tree that your dad would have been throwing a 3/4 ounce Hank Parker on, letting it get down in the roots, and smoking fours. Me, I would have cruised up like I owned the damn lake in my bass tracker, and picked up my 5500 and slung my Terminator up by the tree and went and like skimmed it by it and not caught shit. But I was educated by TNN, so it took it's a longer burn when you learn that way, because then you have to take all the bullshit you learn, and then you have to process that, and then you have to compare it and use real world knowledge and experience against the bullshit and kind of filter out what's what. So I think that's why it takes, because I didn't have, like, my dad took me fishing, but he was no like bass expert. He didn't fish like bass tournaments or anything. He wasn't into that kind of stuff. So he bass fished and he knew about bass fishing and had like, but he wasn't like hardcore to where he like couldn't wait to go fish a bass tournament, or like was like it didn't burn deep inside of him like that, like it does me, y'all, whoever. So he knew the bass fishing, but he didn't slap me on the wrist and say, "Slow your damn spinnerbait down, you damn dipshit." He would throw a 10-inch worm because soft plastic was a slow death for an ADHD kid in the boat. Yeah, that's painful. But all right, I got to get out of here. I got to go home and see the Beans Christmas play program, they call it. Excuse me. So, all right, I'll be back later here today. I'll come back and work today. Anyway, y'all be good. Thanks for hanging around. Go throw your 2.5 foot Bill Dance spinnerbait this evening and let me know how you do. See y'all.